My name is Brian Clemens and I'm the Cornwall Councillor for the Land's End Division. I think it's the desire to help people, to make a difference in my community. Well, there's been a few, but I think the proudest moment was when I forced a debate on the fire service in Cornwall and we managed to retain the call centre at Tolvaden, which is something that would have been a disaster if that had shut. Would have made so much difference not only to the fire service but to Cornwall. I think you need to be a good listener. I think that's the most important thing. It's not about you, it's about other people and what they've got to say, and if you don't listen, you don't get the full picture. Patience is another thing. You know, sometimes it can be very difficult, but you have to be patient. You always get to the bottom of it if you give people time to talk. I became a Cornwall Councillor when the number of Cornwall Councillors dropped from 122 down to what it is now. You know, the workload, the areas are bigger. I think that was a big thing. I still work full time. At the time I was still on the town council, local town council, and I also chair the CAPS. I think it was the workload to start with, but you do learn to manage time. I think that was the biggest learning curve, was managing your time. Typical Aquarian, I'm afraid. Unpredictable, unconventional and outspoken. But that said, I've been lucky enough to work with some really good councillors over the years, and I've learnt to temper my ambition slightly. I think it's the heritage, it's home. You know, I come from a family of farmers and miners, and still many of my family are involved in those industries. And I think where you're born, wherever you go after that, wherever you're born will always be home. When you see a smile on somebody's face when they get something that they thought they would never achieve. You know, with our last round of shared prosperity funding, so many community groups that would never have got funding before, and you get the little thank you notes. You know, somebody comes into the shop, shakes your hand and says thank you for what you've done. The difference you make is unbelievable sometimes. It's getting busier, there's no doubt about that, with the bigger areas, but it's also getting more rewarding at the same time. I think, you know, the biggest issue is the politics of it sometimes. You know, if you can avoid the politics and just get on with doing what you need to do for your community, and, you know, the most important person is the person in front of you with a problem. Just concentrate on them. Don't let the politics take over. How rewarding it can be at times. I think a lot of people get a misrepresentation of what being a Cornwall councillor is. You know, it can be so rewarding to see the smile on people's faces, the good you can do, and a lot of it is just signposting people in the right direction to get the support they need. It's very rewarding, but still hard work.